If you ever have to rotate your propeller, should you spin it in the direction of rotation or should you spin it reverse? Because I've heard CFIs argue back and forth that it matters one way or the other. I've got a Magneto in hand, and this is one cool way to observe what this thing is on the front end, the impulse coupler, if you've never heard of it. It's a way that for start, it delays the timing of the Magneto by a little bit to generate enough force to create that spark and ensure that the engine doesn't start up backwards. But what it does is it spools up, there's a little spring in here, and as it's spinning, once there's enough force, it disengages and it fires this very quickly and is able to generate enough electricity to fire the spark plug and hopefully start the engine. But there's a little like cam that comes out and engages with this pin. That's how this whole mechanism works. So this thing comes down as it's rotating, that's what builds up the charge, and eventually this other little piece of it catches it and releases. So I'll give it a little force there, and it releases, and you hear the click of the Magneto firing, and it keeps on going. But if I spin it backwards, watch what happens. Never engages the pin at all. So the Magneto's still spinning. There's still the possibility of a spark being created, but because we're not catching that pin and we're not spooling up this spring on the inside here, the likelihood of it triggering a spark in the spark plugs has been reduced. So it's an interesting way to see it. And then you may be wondering, does this happen while the engine's running too, right? That pin does catch, and it catches like that, but there's a little bit of a counterweight to it as well. So once the engine has started, there's enough force here that counterweight flies outboard and it pulls this pin in a little bit. So you may see that kind of move in here. So once there's enough force and it's spinning fast enough, it can rotate. And if I just hold it upside down, I can demo that this way. So it'll rotate that way and it never catches the pin, whichever way I'm spinning it. Interesting way to learn a little bit more about a Magneto. Let me know what other questions you have.